Vaccarella had done such a good job of coming back from that earlier problem.
Oh, he just gets loose, and what happens to High Tire? Tries to squeeze to the outside.
Oh my.
It's like you get on the brace and lock them up, and it sets the car going the wrong direction, and looks like he's got no brakes at this point.
And why you saw
and no steering either.
High Tire hop out so quickly, he felt that fire. He knew he didn't know it was out already, but he knew it was on.
The two cars you got to beat, you're not going to beat them, the 18 and the 4. But look at all the other cars you could finish ahead of.
Big hit by the 31. Ryan Newman blows the right front tire right here on the front straightaway. Big hit.
And McMurray 1 lap down. 200 miles an hour into the wall. Big push coming from Elliott and Keselowski. Contact! Elliott slam into the wall.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Casey Kane.
Oh, man.
You all right?
Chase Elliott gets turned around and around, and it's mayhem. Turn 3. It's been an incredible run by Kyle Busch.
Oh,
the 18 team, he got into the back of the 78. Morton Truex Jr. slamming into the wall. He hits again. Contact made. Kyle Busch got to the back of the 78. The 78 spins and brings out the caution once again. Also involved the 7 of J.J. Yeley.
Nothing he could do. Watching the 78 come right across the racetrack. Huge impact.
Yeah, that angle into the inside wall is an odd one and a tough one. Just barely touches him there.
Yeah, Martin's not going to be happy with that. I don't think Kyle did that on purpose by any means, but certainly coming off turn 4 and thinking the 78 was going to go a little higher up the racetrack.
Inside quarters. Hang on to it, hang on to it, hang on to it.
Oh.
Damn it. Hang on.
Just hard wrecks, you know. Even at short tracks going 100, 115 miles an hour, those are hard shots.
Wanders up off the bottom and looks like just tries to turn back to the bottom, Phil. Just got loose, just simply got loose. And watch the driving some of these racers do to get through it.
How about Parker Kligerman? He got hit by the 20 of Legacy. There's that hard contact to the safer barrier for Jennifer Jo Cobb.
In the middle of 3 and 4, hard contact into the wall. Oh my God. Huge wreck. The 14 of Clint Boyer. Look at the damage. 31, Ryan Newman. The 96 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. Oh man. It's very clear to me the 31 was coming to pit road, and Clint Boyer had no idea. He had no idea the 31 was pitting. Heavy contact. Man, look at this right here.
Clint Boyer hit
hard twice.
Twice he hit way hard.
Oh, hard into the wall. It's a 43. Bubba Wallace slams the wall.
Not a fan of this, Rick. I've seen this before. Jeff Gordon and I were here. We had a brake failure. He took that same left-hand turn. Dale, you have to assume, seeing the 43 down in the left in the grass, he's trying to do anything to slow that car down. And what a heavy, heavy impact into that safer barrier.
Fall off with the left rear lug nut. Actually fall off. The 98 had to turn around, back up. Got a truck in the wall, but 98 has also been struggling on pit road. Caution is out again.
You can see that was Austin Hill also in the 0-2 getting that fluid as well.
So John Hunter Nemechek, who was running second at the time, engine expires, fluid on the track. Fontaine gets into it, loses control in that 45, and the 20 of Tate Fogelman hard into that driver's side area.
This is Ryan Truex we're riding along with, and Ryan Truex gets into the back of him.
Yeah, just misjudgment there by the driver.
there certainly wasn't anything intentional in that situation, but that doesn't help Austin Cindric at all.
We're going to ride on board with the 60. You see clear out front. Has no idea it's coming. It's turned around off turn 4. Pretty solid contact, and now you see why he's so disappointed.
Go low.
He didn't do anything wrong. That's what's the disappointing part, is you've done nothing wrong. You know, you got yourself single file and think that you're in a good position there. And and again, it wasn't, Ryan Truex wasn't trying to do anything there, except he just misjudged. And you're looking out the front of a car, and when you misjudge by only 3 or 4 inches, unfortunately, it creates a situation like this.
Lee in that 3 car, he had trouble with the handling of the car. The 16 was in the back of him. Now there's no one with Elliott Sadler.
We got a crash. We got a crash in travel here.
And behind them, they're wrecking. Ryan Reed involved. Ryan Sieg as well at the 39. And so the caution will come out again.
On top of his car, you see right there, the thing's getting really tight. He's got to stay in the gas. Contact from the back, and round he goes.
Hold brake here.
There you see it. Hard impact for the 90 car in the outside wall. Everybody just trying to survive. Once cars start spinning, I mean, you got to think there's debris and there's fluids on the racetrack. You're really limited on how much control and how much ability to miss all this you have.
And it all starts as the cars enter the trial, but the lanes get very undefined. What's the top, what's the middle, what's the bottom? It seems like the trial was the place where these accidents happen most often. As you see, the 16 catches the grass, gets airborne, luckily comes back onto its tires.
Cat McMurray, he has a big run down.
Oh, we got one spinning.
And it's McMurray.
Man, that thing is flipping, rolling.
That car is junk.
You got that right.
Well,
I just hope he's okay.
a ride right
He
there.
had been incredibly fast. He got a huge run off turn 2, caught a pack of cars, made a quick move on the number 1.
Yeah, you can see it start to turn sideways. He's trying to adjust to keep it going straight. But once he turns back to the right, the back end just has no grip to keep it going in a straight line. Now see, I think the car's fine. Started to lift a tiny bit, and then contact from the 31.
Yeah, when that right side started to come up just that little wee bit, and then the 31 hit him in the left side, it just flipped him over.
But I think that's what NASCAR is going to be looking at, is that right side came up a tiny bit and caught a little air, even just before the 31 made contact. And that goes back to what you were saying, DW, about how fast these cars are right now.
They're just blazingly fast.
Ty Dillon.
Keep going middle, check up below.
Looked like he checked up, got hit from behind.
Yep.
Pretty
now
amazing
that
view
car's
from our
pretty torn
visor
up.
camera.
Wow. Thank goodness, look, there's safer barriers right there. He kind of goes above them a little bit, but nonetheless, safer barrier there in this situation.
Haley couldn't run this race last year because he wasn't old enough, so this is his first time here at Daytona.
He went to Talladega.
Oh, hard hit again, 68 of Greenfield.
Looks like Matt Crafton might have gotten to the outside wall too, but hard impact.
The 28 of Brian Doza, the 7 of Corbin Forrester. Could have collected so many more, even than what it did. The red, by the way, has come out, so they are going to stop the trucks over between turns 3 and 4.
Watch right side of your screen. The 68 comes back down because Matt was going to try to go up through the middle. He had committed to the middle of the racetrack.
Look at Jordan Anderson in that 3 truck. Just held it as low as he could and made it by. Still trying to avoid spinning trucks, but nice job by Jordan.
Harvick upstairs.
Boy, he is, and he is right up against that wall, but he made the pass. Oh, trouble.
Hard, and the wall goes William Byron.
Byron nose is in.
Oh,
Byron went in hard.
Oh. Matt Kent's has piled into Byron right to the 14 car right at the end there. 24 set down here on fire. 37, the 1. That was a huge wreck.
Kevin Harvick just missed this.
Oh my, how close was that for Harvick?
And for Kurt Busch also, maybe a little damage to the right side actually from the 14.
I think we now know where the Golden Horseshoe went.
We do tonight. Jimmy Johnson going by, down in the grass. It's a huge wreck with all these.
Comes up off that white line a little bit and is sliding, trying to save it.
I think
it finally hooks.
I think the 14 being on his outside.
Oh, that didn't help at all.
It just pulled him around. But he only had 2 tires, so you're already at a disadvantage, and then you get pulled around. Stenhouse made a nice move to get through there.
Bowman also.
Jimmy Johnson. And, Austin Dillon on the outside.
You see Kenseth come in right at the end.
Right there, you saw what he did. Oh, around goes the 60. Austin Cindric wrecking in front of the crowd. Daniel Hemrick's caught up. Tyler Reddick, Cindric, barrel rolls.
It's up the racetrack a little bit. Matt Tiff's going to try to drive in there to get to his inside, and they just got together. 60 of Austin Cindric just wasn't on the very bottom of the racetrack. Opened up a little bit of hole that Matt Tiff you thought was there, and then you can see right here the contact with Reddick. Started Cindric flipping. That's very unusual to see a car flip that late after initial impact. So here we go above.
Well, Jeff, you knew it was just a matter of time. It was trying to get really bunched up too wide, and Matt Tiff thought it's under 20 to go. He had to make a lane. You see that tumble, as you mentioned, really rough in the 60 car, but
side by side down the back stretch, going to turn 3. Oh! Contacted Gregson into the wall hard.
You're right. Ran into the wall, tried to make the pass, and then right there, just too aggressive, too high, getting in the corner. Johnny tried to turn in, and Noah was just out of shape. He's out of position as he approached the corner. See how late he tries to make that move right there. And
yeah, Johnny was just driving straight down the straightaway. He hadn't turned into Noah or anything like that. Hard contact, though.
Cody Coughlin got pushed out of line.
Trying to find room to get back up into the track, and around goes.
Is that John Hunter?
And the 16 of Brett Moffitt.
Watch it. Make your way through there. What's your path, Cody? Talk to us.
Wrong place, wrong time.
It's an unbelievable job by the 51 of Spencer Davis.
He's just relying on all that experience he has here at Daytona and in the Truck Series, right, Phil?
Now, how many times has he been here?
Oh, this is the first time he's ever taken to the high banks of Daytona in his first truck start ever, and that was a veteran move. He was able to move to the high side, kept control of his truck, and drove right through that mess.
And Joe Nemechek had the presence of mind to move up the racetrack to give him room to get in between himself and his son, John Hunter.
Once they get the white flag, the next flag will call it the 14 around. Boyer into the wall, the caution comes out just before they get to the start-finish line.
Some big impacts.
Bain caught up, as is Bubba Wallace. Brendan Gaughan also in this. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson, Trevor Bain.
See, Bubba's pushing the 14, and the 14 moved to the left, and when he did, now he's pushing him on the extreme right rear of the bumper, and just like the wreck we saw earlier in the race, it just turns the car directly head on into the wall. And you know, when you're pushing somebody, how you are pushing them is so important. You have to have everybody has got to be lined up, and the most effective way is on that right rear, but if you get misaligned just a touch, boom, that's what happens. It just yanks it to the right. Trevor Bain with a big hit, too.
Just waiting for whichever line. Huge push. And around goes a 2. Too big of a push. He caught the 41.
A big one.
Logano's caught up in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon has damage. Daniel Suarez trying to avoid. Ty Dillon sliding in.
Ricky was pushing him and also turning down the racetrack, and that was enough to turn the 2-car around. There's just so much happening right there, and they were coming up on Williams so fast that I believe Brad was sort of throttling down a little bit because he was going to run to the back of the 24. Because you see the 24 blocking here, so Brad's probably throttling down a little bit, and Stenhouse coming across the nose.
Yeah, so right here, the 17. Watch the 17 when he gets into the rear bumper. Right there, hits him in the right rear, and that's what sends him. We talked about that earlier. That's where you want to bump draft somebody. You want to bump them in the right rear. But when you do that, and the speed's wrong, and it's misaligned, and also he's turning left,
then that literally just shoves the left rear bumper to the inside of the car, and it shoots the nose straight to the wall.
That is, oh my gosh, it just takes your breath right out of you.
Shove the 4 a little bit farther forward.
I wonder if he didn't take it because of his teammate, or the teammate to the 4 cars behind him.
Into the wall again. This time Eric Almirola caught up. The 0-0 of Joey Gase and the 34, who had a great run tonight, gets caught up in it. Michael McDowell.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson as well. Yeah, the 4 wide just hooked him.
Yeah. Just not enough. This track is just not wide enough for 4 wide. At Talladega, you can make it work. It's a little bit wider, but this racetrack is just not as wide as Talladega.
Here's another look at it. The 0-0 is already hooked. Turn down the corner. Joey Gase, he's just trying to gather it up. Nowhere for those guys to go.
Jimmy Johnson's like, I've seen this before.
That heavy impact with McDowell sandwiching Eric in the wall. Wow, that hit just shears that.
The wheel comes off, and then you see the 48 sliding down into the grass. The wheel actually comes back and hits the 10 and rolls over the top of it, and then keeps going down the racetrack.
Oh, he ran over something.
What the heck?
Yeah, he ran over something, and then I don't know if it knocked an oil line out of it, Steve. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like oil smoke because it's coming out of both front tires. And right there, the right front tire looks up.
Oh,
wow.
This is huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That angle of impact.
Oh, my goodness.
Sideways the 18, hard into the wall. Around goes the 24 as well. William Byron sliding all the way to the inside wall. Jamie McMurray caught up as well. Kyle Larson avoiding the 18. He went way down on the apron.
When there's 3 or 4 guys trying to do the same thing.
So what the 17's trying to do right there is he's trying to get as close to the left rear quarter panel of the 18 to slow him down, and he gets into him. You know, he came up the racetrack so aggressively, I almost wonder if he got tight or something. Like,
maybe.
You know, he can see that the 18 is right next to William Byron.
Groove. And he could have lost the front in the dirty air of the 24.